Welcome to my dad's car. Enjoy!
Welcome to My Dad's Car, a podcast discussing our personal relationship with automotive nostalgia. And you know what? It doesn't even have to be about your dad's car. It can be your mum's, your grand's, your parents', guardians, or even a neighbour's. If it made an impression, let's talk about it. So, we have a little bit of news, actually, haven't we? We've been approached by the NEC Classic Car Show and asked if we would like to take part this year on their new podcast stage.
Yeah, which is it's great. It's exactly what we're after, isn't it? Really, that sort of thing. A bit of an opportunity and a trip away from the family.
Yeah, I think it's an exciting opportunity. Obviously, was it last year? Yeah, it must have been. We did Bangers and Cash Live, which was a chance to kind of get out in front of an audience and show what we do. To a certain extent, obviously, it was more of a question and answer, wasn't it, rather than us doing a podcast? But from reading through the information we've been sent, it sounds like they've got a small kind of area, I think sort of seating for 25, 30 people and some standing room in a quiet corner of the NEC where people can come and watch some podcasts being recorded. And we've got the potential, I think, for kind of an hour slot, hopefully on the Saturday and another one on Sunday, where we can either bring a guest along. They might even be able to provide us with some sort of semi-famous type guests, or perhaps we'll just pluck someone off the audience and have a chat with them about their earliest car memories.
Yeah, it sounds ideal, to be honest, isn't it? Good setting for us to sort of get our podcast out there a bit more. Because like you say, the Bangers and Cashing was great, but obviously we were there for them, weren't we? Whereas this one, we can kind of plug what we're doing and hopefully find a few people to have a natter.
Yeah, and I think we were up there earlier in the year, weren't we, for the restoration show, and I think that went really well. We met quite a lot of people. We did that little episode, sort of vox pop type thing, wasn't it? Sort of interviewing people just for 30 seconds, a minute at a time. Yeah,
it's good fun.
That seems to have done really well. So I think absolutely potential for us doing that at the NEC as well, but then also see if we can get onto stage, have a few people watch us and sort of buy into it and come on a bit of a journey with us.
I think given that it's billed as like a podcasty area, we should hopefully get people that are ready and willing to get involved, and also they might end up having to listen to some of the older episodes, that sort of thing. So it sounds like a good opportunity, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And they've approached kind of a whole handful of different kind of creators who do podcasts. So we won't give any names away at the moment, just in case kind of things change. But there are some kind of familiar and sort of fairly high-ranking podcasts, I think, that are signed up. So obviously to be considered and kind of mentioned in the same breath as them would be...
definitely.
Yeah, it's quite a compliment, really.
It'd be good to see them in action, really. And because it's all a learning curve, isn't it? So, just being able to sort of be around those people, maybe even exchange a few numbers here and there, and maybe do some recordings further down the line with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I was at Goodwood at the weekend, actually, for the Flat Six Porsche show, and had a good old chat with Paul Cowland. So saw him again, which was quite nice. So still on his case for getting him on. Maybe it'll happen at this. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
But
he's very willing, isn't he? But it's just a case of nailing someone that busy down, isn't it? Which is completely understandable.
He wants to do it in person. That's kind of his thing. The other thing we've got, obviously, we have booked an Airbnb for the Saturday night. So I guess potentially we could see if we can get someone kind of for the evening, maybe go out for a curry or something, or get some food in, and get someone over and say, look, we're only sort of 15 minutes up the road. Come round, we'll grab some food, and we'll just sit down with a podcasting machine. Yeah. So that could be kind of an opportunity to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
What else do we need to tell you about that? That's about it. I think that's our exciting news.
More news as and when we get it, I suppose. I'm sure there will be more bits to release, won't there, as we get closer?
I'll tell you what there is actually with that is the promise of some tickets we'll be able to do as a giveaway. And potentially we'll get kind of a couple of tickets for some guests as well.
That would be good. Yeah.
That would be quite nice. Yeah, it's a bit of support from the show. They want us sort of singing their praises, encouraging people to do that.
Mhm.
And I think also there's the option for a discount code, I think, for people to get a few quid off tickets if they are going up for the weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully we can save you a few pounds there. And yeah, obviously if you are at the show, then yeah, do come and find us and sit in the audience, do some cheering and whatnot.
Heckle.
Heckle, yeah.
Have you been before? I've never been, personally. Not to this one, anyway.
Yes, I have. Yeah, I worked it once actually. We went up for work.
Did you?
But yeah, it's a very similar setup to what we had at the beginning of the year, really. It's the same place, a lot of the same faces. I guess it bookends the year really.
Yeah.
From that point of view. Similar kind of talent pool. Your Paul Cowlands, I guess Danny Hopkins, your Mike Brewers and Ansteads, etc.
Yeah.
Various different stages around the place, kind of talking about how to fix things, or there'll be some kind of auction there.
Sure.
But yeah, a good weekend away. And I think actually when we were up there doing the stuff at the beginning of the year, a second day would have probably been beneficial. We didn't really stop, did we?
No.
We sort of ran from pillar to post, recording things, trying to get some pictures and some video and all the rest. So
yeah,
I
think as well, if you're there for 2 days, like there was a few people that we were hoping to catch, weren't we?
Yeah,
and do a bit with, but it's tricky, as you say, to do it all in one day and pin people down. So yeah, hopefully with the extra day, we can get a bit more under our belt.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I think it's going to go well. Other things to announce. We've just had a couple of new reviews, which is really good. Thank you to the guys from Tire Kickers. They left us a review. So if you've not checked out the Tire Kickers podcast, that's a bit of good fun.
Yeah.
And also Paul Speedbroker, who's an upcoming guest. His episode hasn't gone out yet, but I think he's left us a review as well.
Yeah.
Which is very kind.
He's the chap whose dad's old car I happened to spot on a trip to the doctor's.
That's correct, yeah.
One winter's evening, yeah.
Yeah, he had a BX, didn't he? And you took a photo or video of it, and
that's it.
He identified it.
Yeah, I haven't got a jar and a coin at the moment, so I'm just going to knock a key against the cup.
I've got a coin, I've got a glass, but my glass has got drink in, so we'll get more of a sort of a wishing well type noise. Not quite the sound effect we were thinking of. I have, as it happens, I've saved the sound of the pound falling in a jar.
Really?
Yeah, so I've got that as I can just drop that in.
Get that in there.
There's also an optional chuckle with that as well if you want the full experience.
You're like a radio DJ there, aren't you now?
Yeah, I could have a round of applause.
Yeah. Steve Wright type thing. God rest his soul.
Yeah. We've also, it's Goodwood Festival of Speed this weekend. I've been sent 2 photos of a Citroen BX.
Really?
At the Festival of Speed, yeah. On the Cartier lawn in the concourse section.
Fantastic. You're not going, are you?
No, I'm not, no. I don't mind it, but it's not really me. It's a bit modern.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Must admit, last time I went, which was several years ago now, it was starting to get a bit modern for me. In fact, there were sort of cars sort of zipping round, modern stuff. I just sort of thought, all the engine notes just seem very, very similar now. I just thought, the older stuff, you just got so many more variety and I don't know, like the smells and all that kind of stuff.
It's all right. I've been...
Yeah. No, I'm not knocking it, not at all, but...
I last went 2019 and I did a bit more exploring at that one, to be fair. But, I prefer... We're going to go to the Revival, aren't we, in September?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of more my bag, really.
Yeah.
A little bit less hilly as well. Goodwood's pretty hilly. Hence the hill climb.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the top of the hill climb, they've got a rally stage, which is kind of cool. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of walking. It's a lot of effort. And if I've only got a limited funds, which I have, then I'll spend my money on kind of stuff at the circuit, I think. Yeah,
I always thought Festival of Speed's great if you can go with some complimentary tickets, basically.
Yeah.
Guess the weather's key as well, isn't it, a lot of the time?
Yeah, it's not too bad down here, actually. It's sort of overcast. Actually, quite a good day, probably, for being there.
Yeah.
Not too hot. You don't want it 25 to 30 degrees.
No.
You're cooked.
I've had that before there, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
T-shirt / jumper weather, that's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, that's going on. I can't remember where that was leading me to.
You're talking about BX, weren't you? That's the way it's gone, Andy. That's how life's gone now. You get sent pictures of BXs.
Yeah, I never thought that would have happened.
Who'd have thought that?
It is funny, like the BX actually came up on the first episode, didn't it, with Rob?
Mm.
And it's sort of just stuck. It's just become a bit of a thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I've got a close friend, my wife. See him maybe, a few times a year. But every time I do see him, he always says, "Oh, I thought of you, John, the other day. I saw a really old car. I don't know what it was, but I took a picture and I was going to send it to my wife, but I didn't in the end. He hasn't got my number.
Oh.
So it's like he shows it to me and I say, "Oh yeah, that's a so-and-so, yeah."
Yeah, that's what it come down to.
Mm.
Cool.
Good stuff.
That's the news. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much, John.
Pleasure.
We'll roll the credits.
Thank you for listening to My Dad's Car. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please support us. Buy us a coffee and subscribe. And tell all your friends.